Hollywood has just lost a giant. Robert Redford, the man whose face defined an era of cinema and whose vision reshaped the future of independent film, has passed away at 89. To millions, he was the ultimate leading man, blue-eyed, magnetic, and untouchable. But behind the polished image was a man who constantly wrestled with fame, who walked away from Hollywood at the height of his stardom, and who quietly built a legacy that outlives the spotlight. His story isn't just about the roles he played, it's about the contradictions, the sacrifices, and the relentless drive to create something lasting. And what we uncovered about his journey may surprise you. Robert Redford wasn't born into Hollywood. He grew up in Santa Monica, the son of a working-class family, and for a while it seemed like his future was headed nowhere special. He lost a baseball scholarship because of too much partying and drifted between dreams of becoming a painter and wandering through Europe. But when he stumbled into acting, the world quickly realized he wasn't just another California blonde. His breakthrough came in 1969 with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, opposite Paul Newman. Just 4 years later, they reunited for The Sting, cementing Redford as one of the most bankable stars alive. His charm, his sharp wit, and those unmistakable looks made him a global icon. But with superstardom came a price that Redford never fully embraced. Despite being worshipped as a heartthrob, Redford often admitted he hated the shallow side of celebrity. In one interview he said, "People have been so busy relating to how I look, it's a miracle I didn't become a self-conscious blob of protoplasm." It's not easy being Robert Redford. To escape the circus of fame, he bought land in remote Utah in the early 1970s, a private sanctuary where Hollywood cameras couldn't follow. For decades, that retreat became both his escape and his legacy. Redford was never comfortable being defined by his looks. Instead, he wanted to be remembered for the work, and for the stories he helped bring to life. And that's exactly why he built Sundance. In 1981, Redford launched the Sundance Institute, and not long after, the Sundance Film Festival. At the time, Hollywood wasn't interested in small, strange, or daring films. But Redford saw the future. He created a home for independent voices, a place where unknown filmmakers could test their vision. Over the decades, Sundance helped launch names like Quentin Tarantino, Steven Soderbergh, and countless others who went on to reshape cinema. Redford didn't just act in movies, he rewrote the way movies could be made. Redford's ambition also pushed him behind the camera. In 1980, he directed his first film, Ordinary People. It was a quiet, devastating family drama, and it won him the Oscar for Best Director, along with Best Picture. Strikingly, though, Redford himself never won the Best Actor award, even after decades of iconic roles. Instead, he built a second reputation as a director with vision, someone who could tell stories of intimacy and truth. It was his way of proving he was far more than Hollywood's golden boy. Away from the spotlight, Redford's life wasn't without heartbreak. He married his first wife, Lola Van Wagen, in 1958, and they had 4 children. But tragedy struck early. Their infant son Scott died at just 2.5 months old. Years later, in 2020, his son James, a filmmaker and activist, also passed away at 58. His first marriage ended in divorce after 27 years, but in 2009, Redford found love again with German artist Sibylle Sagers, who remained by his side until the end. He carried his grief quietly, never indulging in public drama, but those losses shaped the private man behind the Hollywood myth. Though he never entered politics, Redford wasn't shy about his beliefs. He was a lifelong environmentalist, working with organizations like the Natural Resources Defense Council and the National Wildlife Federation. He often used his fame to push for conservation and climate awareness, long before it was fashionable. Politically, he leaned liberal, and in a 2017 interview during Donald Trump's presidency, he said bluntly, "Politics is in a very dark place right now. Trump should quit for our benefit." He never became a politician, but he wasn't afraid to challenge them. Even in his later years, Redford never fully stepped away from film. In 2017, he reunited with Jane Fonda for the Netflix romance Our Souls at Night, where the two aging stars brought decades of chemistry back to the screen. Fonda joked, "I live for sex scenes with him. He's a great kisser. It was fun in my 20s, and fun again in my almost 80s. Around that time, Redford announced he'd retire from acting, focusing instead on directing and his first love, art. On September 16, 2025, he passed away at his home in Sundance, Utah, surrounded by family. His life had come full circle, ending in the place that represented his vision more than Hollywood ever could. Robert Redford was more than a movie star. He was a dreamer who never stopped creating. He gave us unforgettable roles, yes, but he also gave independent filmmakers a voice and audiences a festival that changed the landscape of cinema. His work as an activist, an artist, and a mentor will ripple for decades to come. Hollywood often chews up its legends. Redford escaped that fate by carving his own path and leaving behind something no scandal or headline could erase. Robert Redford lived between two worlds, the Hollywood golden boy and the rebel champion of independent voices. Now that his story has ended, the question remains, which legacy will define him most? Was he the ultimate leading man, or the quiet revolutionary who changed film forever? Share your thoughts below, and if you want to keep celebrating the lives and stories of icons like Redford, don't forget to subscribe. Because his curtain may have closed, but his influence will never fade.